Hey up and welcome to Matt's Mindful Meals. So we're at the Cairngorm National Park at a place called Loch An Eilein. If you look behind me, you can see up the Cairngorm Hill with the snow on the top. The loch itself's all frozen over, as you'll see in some of the photographs later. So today I'm just basically going to cook myself Christmas leftovers. So I've got pigs in blankets, sprouts, which some people think are disgusting, but I actually adore. So we'll do that a little bit later. However, today's all about chilling out, relaxing after a stressful Christmas. So I'll catch you a bit later and you'll be able to see me setting my camp up. Speak to you soon. Ta-ra. So here we are, just settled down, time to make myself a nice cup of tea. So I've never used any of this Soto stuff before, so it's going to be a first for me. I've never even lit this one before, so we'll see whether it goes off first time or not. So it's got a piezo igniter or piezo igniter, wherever you think. So I'll just pour some water up in my mug first. I'll do. Popular little lock. So here we go. Woo! That went off quite loud. So, let's get my tea on. I'm not one for timing this. I know there's a lot of people who video and see how long it takes to boil some water, but get a cup of tea at the end of it, don't matter, does it? So, Christmas. Kids rowing all the time. Really incessant. It would not stop. And then on Christmas Eve, I don't know if you've seen it on the news, but we had one of those turkeys that literally Heather took it out the bag to put the bacon and get it all ready for Christmas lunch, and the smell that came off it was awful. It was the worst smell. We had to basically throw it straight outside of the house into the bin outside, because it was just, and you come back in the house, it made you physically sick. It smelled so bad. So luckily we got a leg of lamb in the freezer, so we took that out, defrosted that overnight, and then had lamb for Christmas dinner, which to me, to be honest, it's my favourite meat for a Sunday lunch. So it wasn't that much of a washout. But later on tonight, when it comes to eating my tea, I've got some leftovers from the Christmas Day lunch that I put in the fridge. So I've got pigs in blankets, roast parsnips, roast potatoes, cauliflower, gravy, onion sauce, all in a big boil in the bag. But I did make some mashed potato early this morning, and I've put that in another boil in the bag, so I'll probably eat it out of the bag to save on all the cleaning up tomorrow. But yeah, Christmas. I enjoyed it, but I'm glad it's done, and I'm looking forward to New Year now. Had a party in my pub on Boxing Night. My friends Grant and Tanya and Olivia and Callum came round. So we played a few games in there because COVID restrictions have come back in Scotland, so you're only meant to mix with up to 3 other households, so you really got to be careful so we can keep on top of this pandemic that's going. And also, obviously, you know, I've got some issues with long COVID, which, to be honest, as I said before, those new drugs are really are helping with the cough. It's more or less first thing in the morning or when I get cold, which I think is probably similar for a lot of people, but I do cough for quite long periods and I get like muscle pains, especially in my elbows and in the back of my legs when I cough, which I can't really explain. Anyway, let's have a check and see how this water's going. It's not going to be too long at all. Nice mug of tea. Sun's going down now, so what I'll do is when I finish this, I'll turn this around and see if we can get a time lapse and let the sun go down. Yeah, so we're in the MSR Elixir 2s today. I've got the green one, and Dave over there, he's got his red and white one. He likes the bright stuff, does Dave? There we go, boiling. I don't know how long that took, but it didn't seem too long. So I'll just pour this in there, have my cup of tea. Splash of milk. Don't have to worry about this going off tonight because I think the temperature at the moment is about -1. I think it's going to drop to about -3, but it'll be fine. This certainly isn't going to go off. If anything, it might be frozen in the morning. Anyway, I'll drink my brew and I'll put the time lapse on and I'll chat to you later. Welcome back. So we tried to film the time lapse and we've actually had it on for over 2.5 hours, and the sun, well, not the sun, but the sky is still quite light over the other end of the loch. So we've had to have something to eat because it's freezing cold now. So as you can see, I've done my boil in the bag stuff on here. That's about ready to have. So I'm going to take that off now, but what I'll do while I'm eating this, I'm going to let you catch the last of the time lapse of the sun finally going down till it's pitch black. We've got the lights on in the tent and I'm using one of those little UCO candles to try and see if it gives a little bit more warmth to the tent. It does feel as though it's working, but it's on a long piece of chain, so there's no risk of anything going wrong in the tent. So as I said, this here is a re-warmed up Christmas lunch, but with lamb rather than turkey because we had the issue with the turkey. I can't actually see the video that I'm normally able to see because I've got the light going on, but hopefully you'll be able to see me. And but what I'll do, because that's going to be quite good looking over the loch, I'll put it back to time lapse so you can see that, and then I'll bring you back when I've ate this and had a good old chat to Dave. So I'll chat to you soon. So I've given up on the time lapse because the tiny bit of ambient light that's left, you can't actually see it with your naked eyes here. It's making the sky look very, very blue on the time lapse. I don't know whether it's because of the exposure time that the iPhone uses, but anyway, it's just not going as dark as it really looks. I've got to have that light on so you can actually see me, because it is pitch black now. Dave's over there in his tent. He's just setting his curry. So I'm going to eat the leftovers from my Christmas dinner. You can't really see too much because the light that I've got shining on there. So I'm going to turn this on and hopefully it won't interfere with that too much so I can see what's going on in here. So let's give it a shot There's a tiny sprout there and some mashed potato with loads of gravy on it. Really good, just as good as it was on Christmas. So I'm going to eat a little bit more of this, and then I'll eventually edit the video down because you won't want to see me stuffing my face with all of this lot. But it's really good. See if I can find one of the pigs in blankets. Here we go. I normally cut these in half, but being as I'm just using my long spoon, that's fantastic. Yeah. It is strange having a lamb at a Christmas dinner. I mean, there's so many people in Britain this year who've had the turkeys were spoiled. Don't know why, but luckily we just took a photograph of it in the bin, and they gave us a money back. That's the light just gone off, so I think I'll just have this last mouthful, then I'll switch the camera off, and I might film a bit more tonight, but if not, you'll probably see me doing some black pudding or just making a coffee before we head out in the morning. Anyway, oh, thumbs up for this, by the way. Bit biased, but yeah, it's been lovely, and I'm going to finish it all off. Chat to you soon. So being as we're right by the frozen lake, it's really cold. So just got into his tents. So Dave's about 20 meters away. I've got my little Yuko candle. See if we can offer us a little bit of warmth, because it's absolutely freezing. So I'll chat to you tomorrow. Well, God knows what time it is, but all I can say is I've just nipped outside, and there's ice on the outside of my tent and on the inside of my tent. It's absolutely Baltic. You can see my breath inside the tent and everything. I'm not getting out again. I'll have to just try and stay in till the morning, but I'm looking forward to a hot coffee in the morning. See you then. Ta. All the ice on the inside of the tent. Hiya, well I'm back. We're all packed up and it's time to head back to Aviemore. We decided not to cook breakfast because we're going to go and call in a cafe in Aviemore and have like a full Scottish, and I'm really looking forward to that. So I've just made another coffee, so I'll drink that while Dave's finishing putting the last bits of his tent away, and then we're off into Aviemore. So take care and have a great new year, and I'll see you in 2022.
you.